To build that architecture, the first step is defining planning scope and objectives. Scope describes what systems, environments, and missions the plan covers. Objectives clarify what the plan intends to achieve: continuity, security, compliance, or readiness. For instance, a system-level security plan might focus on protecting specific databases and connected applications within one authorization boundary. Clear scope prevents overreach. Clear objectives prevent vagueness. Together, they shape relevance, ensuring the plan speaks directly to its audience. A narrow but accurate plan is stronger than a sprawling one no one reads. Precision in scope and purpose turns policy into operational clarity. Once scope is known, stakeholders and accountable roles must be identified. Planning is a team effort, not a solitary exercise. Stakeholders include system owners, security officers, privacy managers, and operational staff whose input defines practicality. Each role carries explicit accountability: who writes, who reviews, who approves, and who maintains updates. For example, the system owner accepts residual risk, while the information systems security officer ensures technical accuracy. Listing roles eliminates confusion later when signatures are needed or questions arise. Planning clarity begins with people clarity. Everyone must know their place in the plan's lifecycle. Accountability is its backbone. Next, describing the authorization boundary plainly helps readers understand what the plan actually governs. The boundary defines where control responsibility starts and stops, what systems, interfaces, and services are included, and which fall outside. A plain language boundary statement might say, "This plan covers all application servers in the finance subnet and associated databases, but excludes client endpoints." Visual diagrams reinforce understanding by showing connections and data flows. Without a clear boundary, audits become debates about coverage. Defining it early ensures focus, preventing energy from spilling into unrelated systems or missed dependencies that weaken assurance later. Rules of behavior outline acceptable use and responsibilities for system users, but they also have distinct audiences and required sign-offs. The plan should specify who must acknowledge these rules: employees, contractors, administrators, and where signed acknowledgments are retained. Rules of behavior act as the behavioral layer of control, translating technical boundaries into human accountability. For example, users confirm they will protect credentials and report suspected incidents promptly. Including audience lists and sign-off procedures within the plan ensures that expectations reach every participant, not just those who read policy handbooks. Documented acceptance transforms awareness into enforceable commitment. Concept of operations alignment checks ensure that the plan fits how the system actually runs. A concept of operations, or ConOps, explains mission purpose, operational tempo, and daily workflow. The planning document should mirror those realities, showing how security controls support rather than obstruct operations. For instance, if mission requirements demand high availability, the plan must reference failover design and continuous monitoring. Alignment ensures the plan is relevant to operators, not a compliance artifact. It bridges intent and execution, proving that protection measures were designed for the environment they defend, not for a theoretical one. Baselines and overlays should be cross-referenced within the plan to show how control selections were derived. Baselines represent standard control sets for impact levels, while overlays add or tailor requirements for special conditions like privacy, industrial systems, or cloud deployments. By citing which baseline applies and what overlays modify it, planners create a transparent trail of rationale. For example, a moderate impact baseline might be extended with a privacy overlay requiring data minimization controls. Cross-referencing prevents duplication and supports traceability when audits compare plans across systems. It proves that control selection was deliberate, consistent, and defensible. Defining frequency, triggers, and update cadences ensures the plan stays alive. Static documents decay. Living plans evolve. The plan should specify review intervals, annually, semi-annually, or after major changes, and identify triggers like new software deployments, architecture changes, or incidents. Assigning responsibility for monitoring these triggers keeps updates from slipping. For example, if a new data interface is added, the security officer initiates a plan review within 30 days. Predictable cadence prevents drift between documentation and reality. A plan that changes with its environment sustains credibility and operational trust over time. Inheritance and provider assumptions must be recorded to clarify shared responsibility. Many systems rely on external providers, cloud hosts, managed services, or shared data centers. The plan should specify which controls are inherited from these providers and where verification occurs. For instance, physical security may be inherited from a hosting provider, while access management remains internal. Listing assumptions avoids gaps where everyone assumes someone else handles it. Recording provider documentation, such as attestation reports or service-level agreements, links inherited assurance to real evidence. Clear inheritance statements connect the dots across organizational boundaries, keeping control ownership transparent. Constraints, dependencies, and exclusions give the plan honesty about its limits. Constraints might include budget caps, resource shortages, or technology restrictions that influence implementation. Dependencies identify other systems, networks, or contracts on which the plan relies. Exclusions define what the plan does not cover, preventing false expectations. For example, a plan might exclude client-owned endpoints or specify that external data centers manage physical access independently. Transparency about limitations strengthens trust because it replaces silence with clarity. Acknowledging what cannot be controlled is not weakness. It is the start of risk-informed decision-making. Standardizing terminology and identifiers keeps planning documentation readable and interoperable. Every system, control, and reference should use consistent naming conventions. Using clear identifiers, system IDs, version numbers, control codes, avoids confusion between drafts and related documents. For example, always referring to System ID FIN002 ensures that everyone, from assessor to operator, knows which environment is under discussion. Terminology alignment with frameworks such as NIST, ISO, or internal glossaries ensures that readers interpret words the same way. Consistency in language reduces friction and keeps collaboration smooth when multiple teams contribute or inherit plan sections. Finally, the approval path and publication workflow describe how a plan moves from draft to official record. This includes draft review stages, internal coordination, signature authorities, and publication repositories. Each step should have defined owners and timelines. For example, the system owner reviews and signs first, followed by the authorizing official, with publication in the document control system. Workflow documentation ensures that no plan sits in limbo, awaiting forgotten signatures. It also supports traceability. Auditors can see when each version was approved and by whom. A predictable approval path turns planning from bureaucracy into structured governance. In closing, planning succeeds only when people actually use the plan. A plan written for auditors but ignored by operators is wasted effort. Usable plans are concise, current, and connected to daily work. They guide decisions, clarify ownership, and remain accessible to those who need them most. When scope, roles, updates, and evidence all flow through a coherent document, planning becomes the heartbeat of the security program. It ties together design, operation, and accountability into one living system. Plans that people rely on are the ultimate proof that governance is alive and working. Thanks for listening. For more audio courses, daily newsletters, and more, please visit baremetalcyber.com.